Okay, I promise I really try to do something about my hair, but once you get to know me, you'll figure out there's not much I can do with my hair, and I'm not patient, so I won't do my hair every time I have to film. So this is me, and my name is Valentina. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and you like my videos, please don't forget to subscribe. And now let's start this video because it might be a long one. So I thought one of the best ways to start this channel and to introduce myself somehow was with a story time, which is what we're going to do today. And I'm gonna tell you the story of how I ended up moving from Caracas, Venezuela to LA. Right now, in this moment, I am back in Venezuela. I don't know when you're gonna be watching this video, but we're in the middle of the coronavirus situation. So I'm stuck in here for probably a few more months. And honestly, I don't have a plan yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. I don't know if I'm staying here. I don't know if I'm moving somewhere else. I don't know if I'm going to Europe, South America, the US. I have no plans. Like, I have a lot of options, but I'm still trying to figure out what works the best for me. Anyways, that will be another whole story time when that happens. But for now, let's start this one. The thing is, I always dreamed about living somewhere else. I wanted to be more independent. I wanted to grow up because I've always been really close to my parents, which is awesome. I love my parents. They're the best thing that could ever happen. Like, I feel like I have the best parents on earth. But honestly, I really felt like I needed to grow up. And for that, I felt like it was necessary for me to move away from them. Besides that, my country has been going through a really difficult political, social, economic situation, and I did not see a future for me in here. And I highly respect all the people that do and all the people that are fighting for my country. I don't want to, like, everyone has different needs, everyone has different life plans, and mine was not here, which again doesn't mean that people that stay here are not, like, they're so brave. Like, honestly, I really respect and admire people that stay in Venezuela forever and ever. The thing is, since I was really young, probably 12, 14 years old, I was already saying I need to move out, and I wanted to go and live in Argentina, which didn't happen. That was actually still my plan when I started college back in 2011, I think. Yeah. And I was still like trying to move to Argentina once I was done with my school. I have two older siblings, and when I say older, they're 13 and 16 years older than me, so they already had a career and a life, kinda. Like, they were way further than me, and in the life path, I don't know how to say that, but yeah, so they kind of have their life more figured out than I had it at the moment. And my sister was currently living in LA, and I always had this thing, like, I always liked speaking English. I was super obsessed with old Disney Channel people like Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez, and Jonas Brothers, like all these people, and I would listen to their interviews, I would read articles all the time, and that's how I started getting into learning English, to be honest, because I didn't like it at all in school. But once I was like between 10 years old and 16, I got like super interested in it. I was really obsessed with LA, and like I wanted to go to Hollywood and walk and the stars thing that I already forgot the name, and be with bags and shopping with a little dog or something like that. Like, I had all this crazy idea of what LA was. So when my sister moves there, I'm like, yes, I have to go visit. This is so exciting. But I never thought of living in LA. So in 2014, I think, yeah, 2014, my mom and I go and visit my sister, and honestly, I was so disappointed. I was just not happy about being a tourist in LA. I was like, this is not what I expected. This is so different than what every magazine, website, movie pictures you. So I was really sad. But on the other hand, my sister took us to all these different places that were not touristic places, that were so beautiful. In case you're wondering, Manhattan Beach got my heart. Like, that's where I fell in love with LA. And the Manhattan Beach Pier, it was just like perfect. It's so chill. It's like, the weather is perfect. People are so nice. People are so sweet. There's no like angry people all over the place like in downtown LA or in Hollywood. So I was really in love with the South Bay. But at the same time, I didn't really think about moving into LA at that point. So my vacation was over, I came back to Venezuela, and that was it. I kept making plans for moving somewhere else. One of my options at that point was Spain. I still liked Argentina, but I was really into writing and creative writing, so I wanted to go somewhere to do a master's degree where I could like work on my writing. So Spain was the perfect option for that. But also I realized there were two options in the US. One was in NYU. They have a creative writing program in Spanish. And also there was one in Iowa that was way more affordable. And actually I think the Iowa program was the one that I was going to apply for real. I was like already looking how much renting an apartment in Iowa cost. It was cheap. Let me tell you, after living in LA, Iowa would have been a great option for my pocket. Anyways, I started researching and so Spain was not an option for me anymore. I don't know what happened in the middle. I felt like if you're gonna leave your country, you're probably gonna feel more comfortable if you stay with family somewhere else, if you have the opportunity. In 2016, which is when I left Venezuela, so many people were leaving and everyone was saying how hard it was to deal with like living in a new country and maybe learning a new language and getting used to a new culture and all these things that happen when you move somewhere else, that I think I got scared. And yes, I still wanted to leave, but I felt like maybe living with my sister in LA would be a good first step while I actually decided what I wanted to do, because then Iowa or New York seemed too scary for me to be there by myself. Honestly, I don't remember what's the one thing that made me make this decision of going to LA and visit my sister and stay with her for a while I figure out what I wanted to do. I really don't remember, but that's what happened. So I went to LA just because first, I have family. Second, I had a place to stay, which was with my sister and her husband. I didn't have to worry about like getting all stuff done and like having a place to live and figuring out how to buy food in a different country. Like, it's so many things because I've never lived by myself before. It felt like a good and logic like place to transition to whatever was coming next. At the moment, I had a boyfriend. We've been together at that point for almost 3 years, and we tried to do a long distance relationship, which didn't work for many different reasons. Honestly, my plan was going to LA, taking English classes, taking classes to take the TOEFL test, which is a test where they rank your level of English or whatever, and just get myself ready for that so I could apply for colleges in the future. But honestly, I was not sure about what I wanted to do. But since I had this boyfriend, I was like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, on one side I want to be here, I think, but on the other side, like, I still want to be with him. So my plan was spending 6 months in LA and then coming back to Venezuela because my graduation was in the middle of 2017, which is weird because it was like a year after I actually finished all my classes and stuff. It takes so long here. And so yeah, but my plan was still coming back, and hopefully in those 6 months I would have figured out what I wanted to do. So that happened. I took my English classes. If you're curious, it was this place in Torrance. They also have other schools around LA. I think there are 3 schools, but this one was in Torrance. It was called language systems, I think, and it was really nice. I think I really liked their method. I feel like I could talk a lot. It was not just like copying stuff and just like writing and making tests. Like, we had so many different classes where you actually have to put yourself out there and try to speak English even though you were not 100% confident. I do feel like I got there with some English knowledge, but it was not great. I mean, it's still not perfect, obviously. But at that point, I didn't feel confident enough to just go around talking to people, which now I do. I spent a few months studying English there. A couple days before I was gonna take the TOEFL, my boyfriend of that moment, now obviously ex-boyfriend, broke up with me and my heart was broken. Now I feel like it was something. I'm so happy that happened, and at the moment, of course, it's harder to see, but I felt like that relationship was not going anywhere. And I'm a pretty serious person. Like, I like having my plans. If I'm dating you, it's because I actually like you and because I see a future with you. And now that I look back, there's no way that relationship was gonna have a future. So yeah, that happened. But of course, 2 days before my TOEFL, I took the TOEFL test like crying. I was crying during the whole test. I was like, I don't know if I even want to be here. Like, what am I gonna... I was so confused, to be honest. And that lasted like about probably a month and a half. Probably a month. Well, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Do I want to stay? Do I want to go back to Venezuela? Do I want to go to Spain? Do I want to go to Argentina? I had no idea. I was Also terrified of how expensive LA was, because at some point I did try to do research to do a master's degree at USC in public relations, and it was like $90,000 a year, guys, and I could not afford that. I still cannot afford that, and they were not offering scholarships for international students for that program at that point. I don't know if that changed, but that's what I really wanted to do, and so that's what I was so confused. I was like, well, the program I want to do, there's no way that I can afford it. Even putting all my family's money together, there's no way. Like, I come from a country where the base salary is $5 a month. At that time, maybe it was like $15 a month, but still, like, trying to imagine you guys living for $15 a month in a city like LA, where a coffee can cost you $15. So of course in my mind I was like, there's no way I can do this. I was so confused. So in December, you'll see why this is relevant. So in December I opened a Tinder account, and I'll tell you this whole story another time. Just because I wanted people to tell me nice things, because I was sad because someone broke my heart. So in January I started talking to this guy so random. I think he only had one photo where you could barely see his face, and we started seeing each other, and honestly on the first date I was like, oh my god, I don't know what is it about this guy, but oh my god, he's now my boyfriend, and we've been together for over 3 years. And I'll tell this whole story another time, but I felt like it was it felt right. So I didn't feel like I was dating this other guy because someone broke my heart, not at all. But the thing is that I got so happy and so motivated that I was like, okay, it's not like I wanted to stay in the US because of him, because we're just like dating for like a couple months, but I did got motivated. Like, he gave me light. But the thing is, I did more research and ended up finding this UCLA certificate programs that I was like, okay, this is a whole year. After that, you can work legally for a year, and it cost, I think it was like $8,000, which, yes, it's still a lot of money, but compared to $90,000, this was cheap compared to that. So I was like, okay, this is way more affordable. I don't have the money because I didn't have any money at that time. My parents didn't have the money for sure, but different people helped me pay for this, and I had to pay most of them back. Some of them I didn't, which I'm so grateful. And I will always be so thankful with all these people, because their support helped me achieve my dream of living in LA for a period. I applied to this UCLA certificate. I had to come back to Venezuela because of my graduation. And while I was here, I would do all the process with the visa and like having a student visa, because before I did have a student visa for this other English program, but I had to switch to a visa with UCLA. And anyways, I have to come back here for my graduation. So that's what I did. I came back here for I think 2 months, which were so weird because I was already like dating this guy. I was like, well, we've been dating for 2 months, so I don't know, like he'll get tired of me. Like, I mean, it's not like we had the closest relationship, it was only 2 months. So while I was here, I remember I was so nervous all the time. I finally got my embassy appointment and I applied for a student visa. They gave me the visa and I went back to the US with a student visa at UCLA. Like, I would have never thought I would study in UCLA. Like, it sounded like a dream to me, and it sounded like I was living in the middle of a movie. It was just perfect, and I still feel so lucky for having that experience in my life. I went back to the US and got ready to start studying at UCLA my marketing with concentration in social media and something analytics. I don't remember the exact name of the program. Oh my god, it ended almost 2 years ago. So to be fair, I have really bad memory, so I don't remember the exact name of the program. But I'll leave all the links down below in case you're interested in any of this program. If you want to be an international student, if you're not American and are watching this video and want to move to the US, and this program in marketing at UCLA sounds like something you would like to do, I'll leave all the links down below. So yes, so that's how I ended up living in LA. There's so much of this story I could tell you about, like starting at UCLA, then doing my OPT program thing, which is like that year where I got to work in marketing in LA, working in social media marketing, working in influencer marketing, a really bad experience of an internship I have. I have so many stories of this period, but this video, since I don't want to make it longer than it probably already is, I just wanted to tell you how I got, like, how did that happen? Like, moving from Venezuela to LA, like, how? So that's the whole story of how that happened. This is one of my favorite story times. I think I've never told it this way because I have a Spanish channel. Even though my subscribers there know this happened, I don't think I've ever told this story like this way, and it's so exciting just to think about it, and it makes me feel so motivated. And like, it was hard. At some point it was so hard and I was so lost, but things happen the right way. You just have to work for them and they'll happen the right way. Even though sometimes we feel so lost and like we really don't know what to do with our lives, we'll find a way and things will probably go right. And if they don't, it's probably still for the best, and it's probably like still something you can learn from. So let's look at things that way. So anyways guys, yeah, this is my story. I hope you liked it. If you guys enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yes, this is it guys. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!